Solitude. How does that word sound to you? Does it bring warmth to your chest? Does it confuse you? Do you feel nothing? For me, solitude feels like home. I don't think there's necessarily some house or place that will ever give me that sense of home, but a feeling, a state of being. Solitude changed my life. What started out as loneliness turned into a journey towards independence, self-confidence, and inner peace. I found joy in doing nothing as long as I'm by myself, experiencing peace. It could be on a mountain, in my room, or on the train with my headphones in. Solitude showed me I don't need much in life to experience pleasure and contentment, but in order to really master solitude, I had to be brave in a way. I had to become confident in myself. From what I can remember about my life before solitude is that I felt more afraid in my own body and just navigating the world. I think I was a lot more nervous, I was a lot more anxious and awkward in public, even though I'm always awkward, but there was just something about being very insecure about being alone and being seen alone. I guess the difference now from before is it was really hard to be still. It was hard to just sit right now and just not do anything, not distract myself by being on my phone or finding some sort of reason to look normal being alone. Because I couldn't just sit and be still and not have something distracting me or grabbing my attention in some sort of way. It just seemed really weird. It didn't feel natural to me to just be still, whether it was alone or especially being perceived in public. Oh my God. I just found a banana slug. I'm sorry. I'll show you after. Since mastering my own company and being a lot more confident in just being still and being in my body and being alone, I felt a lot more calmer. I felt a lot more anxious. In general, I find myself not wanting to be around people in general. I think people will always make me feel nervous, but at least I can find stillness and being confident when there's no one watching me, when I'm in my own room, that it's okay to just sit alone or think. It's okay to do those things. It's not boring. I think it's actually quite necessary to just be still. I feel like it helps regulate my own thoughts because I am someone that thinks a lot, and it regulates my body. Stillness is important, and solitude has given me this gift of being more grounded within my body, being more grounded in myself. Yeah. Confidence started with just being alone, not being perceived alone just yet, but being by yourself in your room without distracting yourself. It was facing the thoughts you usually keep suppressed, the things that made you feel insecure or gave you anxiety, those thoughts that keep you up at night sometimes, like, what am I doing with my life? I think this took years of reflection for me before I became confident to answer those hard questions. I had to face myself. I had to come to terms with a few insecurities, flaws, and the things that needed clarity and direction. It was almost maturing in a way. It was about healing myself. No one was gonna do that for me. It wasn't something I was gonna feel through people, substance, or distraction. I had to look at myself and figure out who I wanna be and what I wanna do with this gift of life. Solitude, being alone with yourself, showed me everything I didn't want to see at first, but healed me of all the pain I hid away inside myself. Self-reflection and introspection has become a big part of my solitude journey now. It's something I do with pleasure. There's definitely still a few things I need to heal, but I find the process of healing pain beautiful. Being there for yourself, witnessing yourself get better over time, and when you look back, you feel so proud and free. Once I felt comfortable being alone, I put that out in the real world, where everyone witnessed me being alone. The judgments will rush through your mind. You wonder if you look awkward, lonely, or wonder if anyone perceives you as unworthy because no one is by your side. That was tough for a while. I'm not gonna lie. Your first instinct is to go on your phone, pretend you're busy, pretend you're needed somewhere. But solitude showed me you don't need purpose to exist. You can just stand somewhere without your head in your phone, nothing in your hands or ears. You could just be standing and watching, being present, and nothing happens. No one actually cares. You probably won't ever see those people again either. Everyone else is much more self-absorbed in their own life. I realized no one actually cares about the way I look, what I'm doing, or who I am. Maybe I do bring mystery to others. I probably stand out for a few reasons, but one being that I'm not blending in that well. Not if I'm one of few who aren't on their phone, but just being there. I sat in restaurants alone, while everyone else had someone beside them. I watched movies alone in a cinema. I spent countless hours on the road driving to new places, not meeting anyone, but just to spend time by myself. I've gone on many walks alone, sometimes with no service, and once a while, I passed by someone, and I know they probably wondered why I was alone. I still think of this today, but it doesn't bother me. Time to time, I do feel out of place, but I never regret what's happening. I'm always enjoying myself. I'm enough in that moment. I could be beside someone, but I can also be by my own side. I forgot about the perception, the judgments, and the occasional stares. I'm too relaxed in my body to care about it most times. I'm proud of how far I've gone with this. Anyone can do it. I wish more people did, because nothing will liberate you more than doing what you want without needing someone to be there with you all the time. There's so many things that I love about solitude. It's really hard for me to name a favorite thing about it. As I'm looking around and I'm just noticing the beauty and how beautiful like the world is. I think that's what I love about solitude, because when I'm alone, I don't have any distractions. There's no one to talk to get my mind off things. I'm kind of forced to either notice my own thoughts, notice myself, or to, like, the most obvious one is notice what is around me. And so when you do, when it's really quiet, you notice everything around you and you notice how beautiful everything is. I notice how the light hits the trees and the shadows that it casts. I notice how vibrant the colors are, how vibrant everything is around me. I guess I like that by being by myself, I find that I notice a lot more around me. I become more aware of the experience that I'm having and of life in general. I become a lot more aware of the world, the environment, just beauty. It's about noticing beauty, especially. And by noticing all of this, it just feels very, very peaceful. It's not a boring thing whatsoever. It just feels enough to notice what is around you, to notice that, hey, there's something really beautiful here, and, you know, I have shit that goes on in my life, but I'm really grateful that I get to experience this, actually. It feels enough. And I think you don't need too much in your life once you have all the basics that you need to survive. There's not much more you need in order to experience happiness. I don't think happiness has to be a really big, overwhelming feeling that you experience inside you. Sometimes happiness feels a lot more quiet, and I think that's my favorite kind of happiness. So that's what solitude does for me. It's at least my favorite thing, is just experiencing the world through my eyes. I also think that not only my mind, but my body sort of enjoys being in these places, being alone. I do believe you need a balance of community and also your own independence. And I think when I find my community one day where I could do stuff like this, that's great. But there's something about the human body, I think, that enjoys kind of going back to its sort of survival mode. When I think of like cavemen days and all of that, like, we should be sort of living in this sort of environment. So I feel very grounded, not just mentally, but also physically. I mean, I literally am sitting on the ground. So I am grounding myself right now. And I also think that's why I'm experiencing peace. Just really grateful about solitude, and it's so simple. You just have to get out there and explore. Lastly, solitude showed me I can do anything by myself. If I had a dream, if I had a goal to climb a mountain, to reach across the country, anything in my mind, I could do it. I practiced this newfound confidence by myself, in public spaces, and now trust in myself to achieve something. I remember driving in a new country alone for the first time, and how terrified I was, but I had to do it. I wanted to try it. I wanted to witness my potential, and I came out alive. I felt alive too. I started hiking alone. I had offline maps. I had a destination in mind. I took my time. I encouraged myself and made it to the top by myself. I started traveling alone more and more and became obsessed with my own ability to do anything I wanted to do. There was no permission to do the things I wanted to do. I was free. I was confident, and I felt like I actually had free will. Solitude isn't something that happens overnight. Solitude can take years to truly feel comfortable in. Loneliness is probably a wound for everyone. It is for me, and I'm still healing complex parts of it. But solitude isn't isolation. It's not never speaking to anyone again, or ever hanging out with a friend again. It's a balance. Solitude is freedom. Solitude doesn't have to be a part of your life all the time either. Maybe it's only during your weekends, or maybe it's a period of your life. I chose it to be my main lifestyle. I still talk to people. I live with roommates. I speak to my family, and I work with people every day. Solitude shows up in small moments, like eating lunch by myself, taking a walk after work, cooking when no one's present in the kitchen, and daydreaming on a train with my music. One day, I want to live where there's not so many people. Maybe I'd be fit for small town living or something. Solitude gave me confidence, but also peace. And I think many people that have dived into this would agree. Solitude heals you. It frees you and empowers you. I'll ask you again, how does that word sound to you? Solitude.